Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles. And really quick, before we start the video in the month of October and November, I want to take 1 second to ask you a favor if you have the time. We're going to put a link in the description of our videos that goes to our PayPal. And you're going to see me growing a beard for about the next month till the end of November. What that beard represents is we're working to raise money to give kids a Christmas, otherwise wouldn't have one here in our community. So anything you send us to PayPal in that month, just mark it Hair for the Holidays, click the link, whether it's $1 or $100, even a penny helps. If you mark Hair for the Holidays, we'll give everything that we get from you directly to those children. Through that last year, we personally were able to raise enough money to give 9 families a Christmas that wouldn't have had one, and the charity itself here in our community helped over 70 families. So if you have the chance, we would love your donation. We'd really appreciate it because we love getting to help people in our local community. Thank you. And watch this rockin' beard come in because I'm really bad at growing it, but we're going to give it our best shot. Thanks for watching, guys, and we appreciate your help. On to the video. Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and behind me is a wall of shipping supplies, but they're not mine. That's because finally, after months and months, maybe even a year of trying, we are on location with Reed from Tallgrass Reptiles.
How's it going, guys?
One thing I'm going to say first, this is for Eric, because Eric always is telling me this, is remember, Tallgrass Reptiles and TGR, well-related, are separate. So don't call this guy and say, buy a rack, because he can't help you.
Right.
But if you want to buy a snake, you can help him with that, certainly, right?
Absolutely, yes.
And I say all the time, if you don't get one from me, get one from him. Half my collection comes from you anyway. So it's great stuff.
Appreciate that.
It's true. Like, I could go through there, and I've done it before. Like, well, this came from Tallgrass. This came from Tallgrass. Like, I know a lot of half our Xanthic line came from you. All of our GHI stuff came from you guys' genetics. So, like, I love what they do here. It's really exciting. But tell me what this room is, because this isn't your main facility we're in, right?
No, this was this happened kind of on a whim, actually. My goal was, okay, I'm gonna have my shed in the backyard. That'll be my reptiles and my rats. I'll never bring any snakes back in the house. And then things just kind of grown to a point where, man, I need a place where I can grow some animals up that aren't breeding. So I got 2 racks in here when we did the basement remodel. So I put these 2 racks in here to have focused grow outs on my males, future breeders, get them away from females where they can smell all the hormones and
because it slows down the male's
pheromones.
feeding, right?
Right.
Yep.
So I'll have males kind of stop feeding, stop growing. But I got them in here kind of away from adult females. That way I can grow everything up here in here. So
that's actually a really good idea. We run into that problem too, where my males just shut down.
Right.
And all they want to do is, they're like a teenage boy.
Right.
If you've ever been a teenage boy, you know what I'm talking about. It's one-track minds there.
Right.
You can't blame them. I mean, it is what it is, I guess. That's how I was at that age. Not at 2. No, not at 2, but like at 14, 15.
Yeah, I got you.
25, Mom. That's how I was at 25. So what are some of the things you got here that you're growing up that you're real excited about?
Well, some of these males I've actually purchased. Some of them I hatched myself, and I'm growing them up. But this one I actually hatched, and this is called a Grail, which is a lavender clown.
So Grail, like the Holy Grail?
Yes. Yeah, this was originally done by Justin Kabelka, and I got my breeders from him, and I got insane odds on hitting 4 of these in one clutch. So
oh my.
I actually bought lavender het clowns, so I got 2 females and a male, with Blade in there also. And those females grew up within, 2 years, and then laid 2.5 years old, 7 eggs, and I hatched 4 of these things. So I couldn't have got any luckier on that whole outcome. So
you gotta love when the plan comes together.
yeah, so this guy is just insane. So I've got 1 male and then 2 females actually out in the shed that I'm growing up to. So.
And I don't know if the camera's gonna pick up the exact yellow in this, guys, but it is like screaming yellow.
Yeah, and just the oranges coming in too is just insane. And that head pattern's pretty neat.
That's an awesome snake. I don't think I've ever seen one of those in person. That thing is breathtaking.
Yeah, so that's 1 male I'm excited about to probably next year
he
breed
smells
back
a girl.
to the...
He's like, let me out of there.
Right, yeah, he's gotten some size on him pretty quick in here, so...
Yeah, he'd be ready to breed probably this season, right?
Yeah, he's probably ready now, honestly, but...
Absolutely.
So I kept him. I'll probably try to combine him into some other clown pattern mutation stuff. That way I can start taking the project to the next level. And then
really
another
cool.
guy, this guy I actually purchased, but this is a Desert Ghost clown male.
And you guys know we love Desert Ghost. It's a project we've recently jumped into, and look
But
at that.
just this thing's insane. So I created a lot of my own double hets. I bred a Desert Ghost to or pastel leopard clown to a Desert Ghost female and made some leopard double hets.
Yep.
And just those are starting to get up to size, and I'm thinking, man, I just have so many of those things. It makes a lot of sense to invest in this male so I can get there quicker with the females.
And so you're going to add pastel to that likely then, right?
So there's pastel in my females, so I will have pastel in there as well. Yeah, leopard and pastel. Yep.
And so when you look at, and the leopard's cool on its own, but I love pastel with a clown. It just brightens everything and makes it insane.
And pastel with Desert Ghost, they just
Crazy.
brighten up like crazy. So
Right.
so yeah, it'll be that's a project I'm very excited about. The females have kind of stalled a little bit on me. They're at the 1,200 gram range, and I'm struggling a little bit, but
that's
I think I'll
normal
be able
though.
to- yeah,
it's normal this time of
exactly.
year. It's hard because you have a project you're so excited about, then you got to sit there and you got to wait. It's
Right.
just like, oh, but that's going to be amazing. I love what Desert Ghost does.
Yeah.
And when you have that pastel clown and you put that Desert Ghost on top, it's just going to be
Yep.
crazy.
Exactly. Yeah. So along those lines, this is a leopard clown. So imagine a leopard clown with Desert Ghost that's brightening that thing up and cleaning it up even more. That's kind of my goal, is to hit
The
on that
leopard
combo.
almost makes it a solid stripe and gets rid of a lot of the pattern, just leaving the spots on the side.
There's some blade in there too. Blade it's pattern reducing. So it's all about personal preference. Some people like less pattern and
Right.
just the straight striping. Some people like more pattern. So that's the one thing. I try to get some variety in what I do so that, there's people that like both. So
Trying to please the entire customer base.
exactly. So yeah, that's the goal, is to get the leopard into that Desert Ghost Clown project there.
Now, something else I've seen in this room, and this is the scariest part of this room for me, this is the part that makes me really nervous, is you have a big incubator back there.
Right.
And you mentioned that you have a few clutches that are out and waiting to be pulled or that have pipped.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd love to see some of those,
Sure.
but I need to probably take my wallet and go lock it up somewhere, because this is the part where I probably lose some money if I'm not careful.
Right. Well, step into my office here, Matt.
Oh, let's go
So
broke.
We
Let's
can
go
start
broke.
with. So this is a makeshift incubator, right? So an old cooler. I've got heat tape on the back and the bottom, and then I just have it controlled by a herpstat here. So
Works like a charm.
It's simple, but it works.
Not too far away from our fridge, but probably a little bit nicer looking because you got the glass fronts.
Yeah, that is nice, because you can peek in and without
Yeah.
disrupting anything, you can see if a snake's pipping out or not.
Now, this is all one clutch, correct?
Yeah, so this was all one clutch, and I incubate on vermiculite, but I actually took them off of their vermiculite and just threw some coconut on there. So this was a GHI NG asphalt bred to an ivory pastel. So I was very fortunate to hit just insane odds on this. There was 14 eggs, and out of 14 I got 11 freeway combos.
Oh my goodness.
So the freeway is a asphalt yellow belly combination. So genetically it's basically, it is just like an ivory. So it's an allelic gene.
So meaning you're going to
freeway.
pass on one of the two every time.
Right. So one of these freeways would pass on either asphalt or yellow belly. But unfortunately they look exactly the same, so you can't tell the difference.
Right. But by using the pairing you chose with the ivory, you made sure that you'd be able to identify what came out in here. 'Cause
Yes.
you're going to either get ivories or you're going to get freeways.
Yeah, so since it was an asphalt male, I'm either going to get anything that's not freeway combination is going to be a yellow belly, because that ivory female is only going to pass on yellow belly.
Right.
So like this is a non-freeway combination here. That looks like a pastel yellow belly.
Really cool.
But
It's a good way to do that and not have to make the guess.
yeah,
then
exactly.
I hate
Exactly.
making
If
the
it,
guess.
if I bred it to a yellow belly female, I'd hatch yellow belly looking animals, but I wouldn't know if those are asphalts or yellow belly. So
Right.
that's why
And
you
then
see a
you're
lot of
Probably selling asphalt for way under value, or you're selling yellow bellies for way too much. And either
Exactly.
way, it doesn't feel real good.
Exactly. So when I'm trying to take the project to, add in other genes, I want to use that pure asphalt male to a non-yellow belly female, so I can get, hey, like the male that produced these, right? I bred it to a GHI to to get GHI inchy asphalt. And then anything that, anything asphalt looking or yellow belly looking was asphalt. So that's how I knew that that male was 100% asphalt. And then, of course, you got to create the cool looking snakes at some point, right? So,
Yep.
Combine that into the ivory female.
Now, I know you kind of tend to keep yours together until they shed out a little bit, then you separate them, right?
Yeah, so, I generally let them shed out as a group.
Yep.
Sometimes, honestly, I'll let them just shed out in the incubator.
Yeah.
Because the humidity's already there, the heat, and that seems to work pretty well. I never have shed issue that way.
So temp and humidity is good. It's not going to hurt them to be in there that long.
Exactly.
Especially if you're using an actual substrate.
Yeah.
We tend not to, but we use a different incubation method. Hint, hint, we're going to get into that in another video, where I worry about the grate and them scratching themselves, but you wouldn't have that problem here.
Right.
And before we put those away, just for everybody, can you kind of identify what you got? You already identified the pastel yellow belly, but what do you think each one of these is?
So I'm still speculating a little bit because I haven't hatched any of this stuff out, but I have a pretty good idea here because I've hatched some regular freeways in the past. So I believe this to be a GHI freeway, and then this would be a regular freeway here. And then this, you can see exact same pattern as these. So I'm thinking this is a pastel GHI freeway. And just insane the way that just turns white there but still has that black patterning there. That's pretty neat.
So reduced. It's crazy.
So that's that combination. This would be a Mardi Gras. And I've noticed a lot of variability in the freeways. Some have more pattern, some have less.
So
So
Mardi Gras
would be an
inchy,
inchy
right?
freeway, right? And then I think this is the same thing here, just slightly different patterning.
So
I wish these weren't in shed because you'd be amazed by the colors popping as well.
Do you think that's also Mardi Gras?
I do, yeah. I'm going back and forth a little bit to think whether or not, since this one's kind of more that dull patterning, these are almost chocolate colored,
Right.
and this kind of resembles that color. Going back and forth a little bit on whether or not this could be GHI, I'm not sure. Or it could just be variability between Mardi Gras.
So there's a lot of variability in Mardi Gras, and I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And you'll get more of an idea, of course, after shed. I mean, this is kind of putting you on the spot, right?
No, you're fine, yeah. Yeah, so I know for sure these are freeways. I think, I'm 99% sure those are GHI freeways.
That's awesome.
And
just
then
a
the
straight up
pastel
freeway's
versions of those.
gorgeous too. But that right there, that's
neat.
That's great.
Those are neat.
As a matter of fact, our freeway came from you.
Okay.
If you remember that in Manhattan, you
Yeah,
hooked
yeah.
me up with one of those.
Yeah, that's right.
And she's doing wonderful. She's probably, I bet she's 750 grams. She still hates me though. She's one snake that hates my guts. You sold me a demon.
Well, I can't help that. I can't help that.
She's beautiful, so she can get away with it. It's kind of
Right.
like, I'm not going to say that I've had, the more beautiful they are, the meaner they are sometimes, right?
Right.
Not always. I love you, dear.
Wow.
Yeah, she
You
watches
don't get into
these.
trouble on any of these videos.
Not
do you?
very often. Not very often. But you have another one that's also pippy.
Yeah,
So let's take a
so-
look at that.
I've got one they're still in their eggs. So,
This is kind of my favorite time because when they're still in their eggs, they got the little head sticking out. You're not 100% sure what you got, and it's kind of exciting. And then I always kind of check away from the crawl so you can see what it is, like waiting for Christmas as a kid, and all
Right.
the presents under the tree, and maybe you peeked in a few you're not supposed to, and now you're having to sit and wait till you can actually get them fully out.
yeah, so this was a desert ghost female, and I bred a leopard that's het for desert ghosts as well as clowns. So my thought process was I don't have any leopard desert ghosts, and anything that's female I definitely keep just to see if it turns out to be het for clown as well. So I'm going to grab some scissors here real quick.
Oh, we're going to take a peek, huh?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do this.
Because I haven't even looked at these yet to see what's in it. So that looks to me like a leopard.
Of
I
course,
try not to
leopard-
disturb them too much, but
Right.
at this point they're just about ready to crawl out. I'm not too worried about it. They're just sitting in there a little bit.
Truthfully, if they've absorbed all the yolk, I mean, it's not going to
Right.
hurt them to come out.
Right.
And you can see on that egg, all the veins are gone. They're all dried
Right.
up, which means that snake's ready to go.
Yeah, so anytime I'm cutting, I try to avoid any veins whatsoever. So let's get a better look at this guy here.
And leopard
without
right now
cutting
seems to be kind of the really in thing, and has been for about a year or two.
Man, it just, all the combinations with it, so I don't feel like there's a bad combination with leopard yet that I've seen.
Right.
It's insane. So,
Well, I blame
This-
JKR. He gave it cool names like Batman, you
Right.
know, the mad marketing
Excuse
genius
me.
he is.
sorry, excuse me.
Don't worry, I cough all the time on video. It's normal. We're human beings.
So, Desert Ghost is actually a little bit difficult right at first when they're hatching out, because sometimes they can, even the non-Desert Ghost can look pretty bright. I'm thinking this is a Desert Ghost for sure, but I generally will just wait till after they shed because it's pretty night and day at that point.
Yeah, because they got that baby skin.
Right.
And until you get that, and get sometimes on, like we've been struggling with some combinations of Mystic Potion, waiting for the color to come in before we can fully identify.
Right.
And it's just not always able to do right away.
So I'm trying not to disrupt this one too much.
Oh, that
It's
looks like it's
definitely
got
got
Desert
some more.
Ghost in it, right?
Yeah, that's a Desert Ghost for sure. And
You
I've
can
never
see
never
it
hatched a
clean.
leopard Desert Ghost either, and a leopard's kind of a darker gene, so I'm
It
thinking
might hide
that
some of the color in it.
you're definitely going to be able to tell it's Desert Ghost leopard. I think that might be one sitting right there, actually.
And the other thing too,
I'm
with
kind of going
Desert-
back and forth on this one still a little bit, whether or not that's leopard.
The other thing with Desert Ghost is it gets brighter as it ages.
Right.
It's one of those genes, and they're few and far between in the ball python world, that look better with age and don't tend to get worse.
Yeah, so that one's, just by the head, I can tell that thing looks like a Desert Ghost. And I'd say Desert Ghost leopard, but let's find out.
Oh, it's exciting. The head, that's got a crazy stamp on it.
Oh yeah. So this makes that obvious, right? Sometimes you're just looking at the whole picture and saying, okay, well, now that I've seen both comparing them, it makes it easier to figure it out. So that this is without a doubt a leopard Desert Ghost. We can get a good good view of them here. Oh yeah, look at that.
That thing's insane.
Yeah. So we've got two comparisons here: a leopard without Desert Ghost, right?
Right.
And then we have a Desert Ghost without leopard.
And then you've got the
And then
combo.
we have the combination.
And you can just
So
see
just
how it's almost
really
neon,
neat.
really bright,
See-
really clean already. And the blacks are really dark.
Right. So yeah, leopard, makes the patterns sharper, and then Desert Ghost does the same thing. So that combined is just, that's insane.
You know, when you stack it, it's really clean.
I've never hatched one of those before. That's really neat.
That thing's awesome.
Yeah, so shall we see if we have any more in here?
Sure. And I need to probably call and see if I can't get a second mortgage on my house. This is how I get divorced. I buy too many snakes.
That one's not leopard. It looks like it's a Desert Ghost, but
But Desert Ghost is one of those genes. I'm still kind of waiting on it to really blow up. I think what
well,
holds
might
it
just
back
be normal actually.
sometimes is people get confused with Desert and Desert
Right,
Ghost.
right. So you had the desert from a while ago, and then they found out the females don't breed, so that project really kind of
It dies.
went south and died, and that actually made the Desert Ghost project go to the forefront. So
It did, but I think new people still, when they're doing research, get confused.
they do. You're
They think
absolutely
that the
right.
desert and the Desert Ghost, they think that it's a combination of like Ghost and Desert, or they think it's another line of Ghost, like
Right.
the Ghost and the Gray
Right.
Ghost
Orange,
and the Orange
you have
Ghost
so many
and all
different
that.
ghosts that
Yeah.
it gets pretty complicated over time.
And this is something that, as a hobby, I feel like we've done to ourselves. I mean, it's great marketing to come up with the names and everything else, but we also kind of hurt ourselves when the names are too similar,
Right.
and it causes confusion with new people.
You're
And
absolutely
then they're
right.
getting information from multiple sources and not sure what to trust. But for the record, if you're new, Desert Ghost is its own gene and completely 100% separate from Ghost or Desert.
Yep.
Females breed true. You put it to Ghost, you're not going to get a visual, although you can do a Desert Ghost Ghost. Desert Ghost.
Right.
A Desert Double Ghost?
Yeah, and Desert Ghost is like the other, like Orange Ghost. They're simple. It's a simple recessive gene.
Right.
So that looks like I've only hit one so far.
I bet we're going to get
Oh,
two. I
should
bet
we-
you're going to roll the dice and get one more.
Should we cut the boob egg?
Might as well. Have hadn't pipped yet, it's probably due at this point.
Right. So I only cut after I've seen a few of them pip out. I don't like to cut just because you never know if it's at the top of the incubator, the bottom of the incubator. You never know exactly what your temperatures were at throughout the course of it. So I only cut if I know other ones in the clutch are pipping out.
Correct. I try to do that, but sometimes I get impatient.
Right.
I'm going to be gone. I'm like, all right, guys, we're going to
Right.
check on you.
But if you think about it, like a few extra days,
Isn't going to
and if you
Yeah.
just kick yourself if you cut into it and it wasn't quite ready, and
we got,
yeah.
one day we did. One day, I don't know if I looked at the calendar wrong. It was back, we used to cut everything on a set day.
Right.
And we probably cut, I think it was around day 45 when we finally figured it out. And we thought we were like into the 50s. And it made me extremely nervous, but everything came out okay and fine on that clutch.
That's
So,
good.
It was scary, and that's not something I wanted to
Yeah.
repeat.
Yeah, that's when I know it's a sure thing. If the clutch mates are pipping out, then
Yep.
I'm okay to go ahead and peek at the other ones.
Absolutely, because my concern is opening that environment up to bacteria and things of that nature for
Right.
that long. But when they're pipped, no issues. Now that looks like you got something going on there for sure.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out. That other one's just so extreme. Trying to figure out if this is...
I think you definitely got Desert Ghost.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I don't know if it's... I don't think it's leopard.
And some of
It's
these are
always
likely-
it's always much more difficult to identify stuff when it's sitting in the egg than it
Oh,
is
yeah.
once they've come out too. That helps a lot. Yeah, so that's definitely a desert ghost, but I don't think that's a leopard. So
Still
far I
really
may
cool.
have only hit one, unless this little guy here, his head poking out. Here's the hard part. Let's get him to, can I get him to pop back in without?
Yeah, 'cause I hate cutting right around that head.
Right.
It makes you so nervous.
Right, exactly. So I might just leave this guy alone and let him come out on his own.
When in doubt, that's usually the best solution.
Yeah, oh, there's a little,
Little spot.
yeah.
Ah, there we go. Other thing I've done a few times is started a new cut and then
Yeah.
worked it close and then just
Yeah.
pulled it where it pops
Yep,
that open.
Exactly.
You know, because I've also where they've got their head stuck before.
Right. Oh, dang.
And then he pulls it back in.
Yeah, now he got it back in, didn't he? Yeah, looks like a desert ghost. I don't think it's leopard, though.
So you may have only got one leopard desert ghost, but you got a lot of desert ghost out of
I
that.
did.
So
So I'm a little bit disappointed. Because I only got
understand.
one, obviously.
Sad
you're always,
face.
right? I'm sad, but hopefully this is a girl that I can hold back. And man, that thing's smoking.
At the end of the day, too, everything appears from what we can tell now to be healthy and alive
Right,
and breathing.
exactly.
I mean, we've seen everything move, which is always a good sign. Of course, you don't know for sure until they're all out of the egg and you can
Right.
completely inspect them, but everything's alive, everything's doing well,
Exactly.
everything's reacting perfectly. And at the end of the day, we can't control the odds, but we can control to a certain extent how we hatch things.
Yep.
So that's the one thing it's never going to be perfect, but we should always strive. And here's a clutch with 100% hatch rate, which is what we're going for, right?
Yeah, exactly. And all these desert ghosts are 50% possible het clown too. So
So we were
that's
talking
always a
desert ghost,
positive.
leopard, clown,
Right,
pastel, with everything
right.
else you got going on.
yep.
That's going to be. So what you're saying is
Females
this-
are going to be hard to sell.
Absolutely.
Visual desert ghost females that are possibly carrying that clown gene also.
with the project we were just looking at that you kept back to go to that pastel
Mhm.
clown, that also is going to work back to this project most likely.
Right.
So
Yep.
everything's kind of getting related there on what you're
Yep.
going towards, what you're working towards.
So my goal was, hey, I've got that double het male. I haven't hatched any leopard desert ghost before. Why not take him to that female, hatch some leopard desert ghosts, and then, worst case, you have a leopard desert ghost. Best
Right.
case, they're het clown too, and get them right back into that project. So
and if this one would prove out not het clown, then the offspring would be.
all
So
the
you'd still
yeah,
be going that
exactly.
direction and just take a little longer. Right?
Exactly. Yep.
Really cool.
So
All right, guys.
that's
Well, now
that one.
we've seen several eggs pipping and hatching, but I know we got some more videos to do, so we're going to hop off here and we're going to slide over to Patreon. And after the Patreon video, we're going to do some more videos while we're here. You're going to see them stretched out over about a couple weeks to a month, but we're going to film a bunch more here to include how you do your egg setup and also your main facility. And and we're going to film a highlight video really specific to one morph that I'll say I think you guys are probably the top in the nation at, which I'm excited to do because I think it's going to be a really cool morph. It's taking everything by storm. So stick with us, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thanks.